Hi there, this is Meri at the.meri.atelier, and this is an unlisted stream. Again, when I'm finished, I will upload it. But I'm just recording this live as if I were chatting with you, only I'm doing it as an unlisted video. I'm streaming an unlisted video. When I've looked at it and approved everything, I will set it to go public. And that probably will not happen until tomorrow morning. This will be a Mornings with Meri video for October 15th. What do I have out here? I have my big magazine idea playground. Look how thick this guy is. I was working in this Friday night. Yeah. But I want to talk about something today. And I'm going to open up to this page. This page is a mind map that I did in one of the live streams that I had on Friday night. And we were talking about what we regarded as an art failure. And I have all these things written down that people said that they thought was an art failure. Now, we all know that in art journaling, there are no art failures. But in a sense, there are. Sloppy fussy cutting. Well, okay, that could go in art journaling, but it didn't come out like you expected. Not enough product, running out of something in the middle of your project when you're working on a project. And maybe this is an art journal project. Maybe it's another type of art project. I'm going to get Penelope out of the way here. Different sized eyes. You dip your paintbrush in your coffee when you meant to clean it in your water. Now that's an art failure. So we have all these thoughts coming here. This is a mind map. And that's what I want to talk about. Mind mapping, but not mind mapping so much as my favorite phrase, thinking. Thinking, and overthinking. I got into a conversation today that maybe I should have taken a step back from, but I didn't, because I have very definite thoughts on it. And I can take a step back on politics. I can take a step back on religion. But taking a step back on art, in some instances, I got to say what's on my mind. And that's what I want to do here. Not so much to force it off on anybody, but to express what I'm thinking. So I'm going to flip over to this page. And what I want to do here is maybe kind of make a chart. And you'll see as I go. Spontaneity. I'm just going to put spontaneous. I'm going to write over my October leaf here. Versus, I'm going to put planned. But also, I want to use the phrase overthinking. Maybe the artist is thinking about it too much, so to speak. Or they think they're overthinking it. And what I'm seeing happening in a lot of the videos, the art journal videos, is that sometimes when people are working along and it doesn't go as they thought it should, they overthought it. Oh, it's not spontaneous enough. I overthought it. Paint it out, gesso it out. You know, and that kind of bothers me because you need to think about what you're doing. That's why we have composition classes. That's why we learn about mixing colors. Sure, you can pour paint on a page and you can allow yellow to float into blue and get this beautiful green, and it may be spontaneous. But over here you can say, I'm going to mix some green. I'm going to take some yellow and I'm going to take some blue and I'm going to mix it. So can you see the difference? Spontaneous, let's just going to say yellow poured into blue. Results in green. And that just happened. And that happens and it's beautiful. And I have no I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is sometimes when we mix yellow, we want to mix yellow and blue, but we don't get the green. We don't get the green we're expecting. We want green, but maybe we got too much blue. Did we overthink it? Just because maybe we grabbed a bit more blue than we meant to? I don't know. I'm one to go into the thought process. And I do this. I don't know if it's a result of how I grew up or how I've been trained, or if it's just me, how I grew into my art. But I find no matter how hard to try, I try to be spontaneous. You cannot force spontaneity. You can't force it. Because if you say, oh, I want to be spontaneous, I'm going to be spontaneous now, no matter how spontaneous you want to be, you are still thinking. You're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about it. And over here, yes, you can. You can overthink it. You can get so convoluted that you don't know where you're going anymore. And maybe that's the point to start. But from the videos that I've seen and what I see happening out there, people think they're overthinking things when they hit a snag. And, I'm going, no. You're discovering. There's a discovery point in here. There is a discovery point in overthinking as much as there is a discovery point in spontaneity. So I kind of want to talk about that. I also want to talk about mind mapping. I'm big on mind mapping. I love mind mapping. Mind mapping. And I showed you this mind map we did as a group in our Friday night session. Isn't that a beautiful mind map? I could not write fast enough, and I'm sure I did not get everything on here. I could not write the things that were coming at me fast enough. There were just so many thoughts. Learning what went wrong. Coffee and paintbrush in the coffee cup. Chemically bad mixes and bleed through to the next page. That's sometimes regarded as an art failure. I would question that, but there are people who think that's an art failure when the result is not what was in your head. So they didn't get what they were thinking they were going to get, so they regarded that as an art failure. They probably just needed to work through it a little bit more. But mind mapping, over here, there are folks who will not mind map. No mind mapping. Just let me jump into it. Just let me go at it. And that's fine. That's fine. I will give you that you will run into a lot of times a beautiful end result because you are working through it and you are still processing all that in your head. You just aren't figuring it out first. And here's a perfect example. Let's take quilting. I'm not a quilter, but I know as much about quilting to know that there is free form quilting where you set your machine up and you just go at it any which way. But there is also quilting. Let's put quilting here. There's quilting where you follow a specific pattern. You are thinking it out. You are planning it out. You are planning your colors and your shapes. And let's say you're in a swap. How does what I want to do relate to what somebody else has done? You are thinking. Now, it's okay to think. Now, how could you overthink when you're quilting? I'm not sure. Because I would probably not go there when I'm quilting because I'm not a quilter. I would probably make it very simple. I would plan to make it simple for myself. Freeform. Freeform is perfectly okay. Both of these are okay. But what I'm saying is don't get into this mode of thinking if you think, you're overthinking. I see too many people say, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm thinking, I have a thought. Oops, I thought about it. How did that happen? How did I think about something? It just blows my mind. I thought about it. I shouldn't have thought about it. I'm not going to get this beautiful piece that just happened magically on my page. Oh no, it's a failure. Do you see where I'm going with this? And I do love spontaneous art. I'm very spontaneous in some of my art. But I also have just a little bit of fear that we are, now this is very controversial, and it may not be happening, but I have this kind of a fear, not a fear like I'm afraid, oh no, not like that. It's just kind of a fear like we are dumbing down our art. Are we dumbing down? Now this is a question for you to answer. This isn't anything, and it's controversial. Are we dumbing down our art by being too spontaneous? That's a question. That's not a rule or a mode or anything that I'm trying to say is what's happening. It's a question. It's something that I'm wondering. If some people think, I can't draw, I just can't draw, I won't even try it. Every time I do a face, it looks like a cartoon. I can't put the eyes in the right place. My nose doesn't look right. My head's on backwards. So I'm not going to draw a face. I'm going to slap some paint on a page. I'm going to smash my pages together, and voila, there's my masterpiece. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see how it might be dumbing down? Where if you would have thought, I'm not so good at drawing faces, but I can get better. I'm going to try it, and I'm going to look at what I did, and oh, no, my head's on upside down. How did that happen? Well, on my next drawing, I'm going to put my head right side up. You thought about it. You analyzed what you did wrong, and you're taking steps and measures to do it better the next time. I tend to fall over into here, and I'm getting kind of adamant that this is my style. Not that this isn't, not that I hate this, and this may be somebody else's style, which is fine. But I fear that too many people are dumbing down their art. They're not even trying. They're not even trying because they're spontaneous. And that's okay, but you aren't growing. You aren't growing. You're letting your art define your growth. You're letting what splashes happen on the page, or your wow ideas, or you're not growing as an artist. You are letting the spontaneity guide you, which is okay to a point, but you're never going to grow and develop skills. And I'm still growing. There are artists out there, even in our art group community, that I just stand in awe of. I stand in awe of some of the skills, the artistic skills of some of the people that, I'm not there yet. And I've been doing art for over 60 years, and I'm not there yet. I'm still growing. I'm still not to the point that I see some of these other folks at. And I'm going, wow, just look at what they're doing. So this is kind of my little lecture on spontaneity versus overthinking. One more thought that I had about this was in the computer sciences and in an analysis, they have this phrase, analysis paralysis. And we translate that over into our groups as overthinking. You are thinking so much that you can't move. You've planned out so much that you haven't done anything. You paralyzed yourself. And generally, when I hear the word analysis paralysis, I don't hear it from the creator. I hear it from the other side of the fence, looking at somebody who's creating or analyzing a situation. And I saw that out in the business world. You know, when you're analyzing things, sometimes you dig down deep into it. Your mind map may go 20 pages long. You're just writing down everything that you can find out about art failures. And somebody else over here may look at it and say, analysis paralysis, just let me fail. I'll do it. Just watch. And they do. And that's okay. But they have blocked this person by, in a sense, judging them, in a sense, when they are a whole different style. When they are analyzing and they're analyzing and they're growing and they're growing. And eventually, if you're just patient enough over here, these people will come up with a wonderful piece of art. They'll come up with a wonderful solution to a problem that they're solving that they arrived at by thinking about it, where you might have spontaneously gotten there, maybe if you smashed your pages in the right way, but you have to think about the right way, so already you've thought about it. So I'm not trying to downplay spontaneity, because I do think it has a place. But what I'm downplaying is don't dumb down your art. Don't dumb down yourself, because you have talent. If you can do spontaneous art, if you can recognize the beauty in a spontaneous piece of art, you're over here, maybe at the top level. Maybe you haven't dug down into why does yellow and blue make green. Why is a color red, a yellow, and a color green? And when they mix together, what makes those mix of that color green? What is it? Where, here we're just dump, green. Here you're going, I have yellow and I have blue. And if I mix them together, I know that I'm going to get green, but why? And what can I do with that green color? How many greens can I create? And how is it going to happen? And where am I going to paint that green? And, oh, is green a good color? Who's going to look at my green colors? If I paint this object green, can I paint this object green? And what if I have all my object painted green? Will I be able to see anything but green? So see, you're thinking, you're maybe, according to this person, you're overthinking it. And this person's sitting over here and saying, they'll never mix green. They'll never get there. Not true. So I just wanted to, because I feel very strong about this. And my main point is this: do not dumb down your art for spontaneity. Spontaneity is a good thing. It's a fun thing to happen. But don't dumb down your art. Don't dumb down your skills thinking that this is who I am and I'll never be as good as this person over here. It'll never happen. Well, it will never happen if you never think about it. And sometimes it may never happen if you don't put a little bit more thought into it. And I'm still thinking about this. I'll probably close this video out and say, oh, I had another thought. But I won't go there now. I've been going for 20 minutes. I wanted to talk about that because I feel very strong about art. I feel very strong about art education. Especially education. There's too much dumbing down in our education system today. There's too much, let's just get by. Let's just do enough to get by. And that, I'm not comparing that to spontaneity, but that could even be That could even be in a plan thing. Let's just do the top layer of a mind map. That'll get us an A. We don't need to go any deeper. Why go any deeper if we can get the A if we just do the top circle? Some teachers may think, wow, they at least drew a circle and put a topic in it. Let's give them an A and make them happy. But I do want you to think about how you might be, or how you, just by dismissing thinking, you might be dumbing down your art. I feel very strong about it, or I wouldn't go on and on and on about this. So that's my Meri's art lecture for Meri's Mornings with Meri video. I had another video planned, but I hit this out in one of the art groups today, and it really got me to thinking. And I just feel like I have to say something about it. Now, I'm going to leave comments open because I do respect your opinion, and I don't expect everybody to agree with me. If you don't agree, type it in there, but be nice. I will delete rude comments. I just won't tolerate them. I'm not going to moderate this, but if you have a difference of opinion, just say it, and say it nicely, and I can take that. So I'll see you tomorrow morning.